Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Just a moment. Did you read the post for today? I hope you read the blog today because today we finish our mental week, 9-week Capricorn, and as a good Capricorn, today we have an exam. I must say that I am not the one to do exams because I had to leave the university because I had no idea how to make exams. So just this is a true story that I didn't understood the exams because I went for 2 years to the university in Rio Cuarto in Argentina to study pedagogy, and and there was one day that my partners from the classes, they were really worried because something, and I asked why, and they was like, well, the final test. So what final test? And they said, well, you had to do the final test to go to the other year. And and they said, have you done one before? And I said, I don't know, maybe. So I had no idea. So I just 2 years after, I knew that I haven't done any exam in the university. I had no idea. So there was a teacher that told me, this is not for you, for sure. So yeah, so I left. I was a really good student, but I had no idea how the exams worked. So in school is better because in school you know the day of the exam and they tell you you have to study this and this, and in universities is different. You have no idea. You can decide the day. I don't know. It was so messy that that I had no idea when. So I was studying, but I had no idea why. So that was my story. So so there was the only 2 exams that I remember in the university. I got so confused that I stuck and I couldn't do anything, and I just blocked myself in such a way that I was like autistic for a few hours, and they had to take me out from the room, from the classroom, because I was like this, and they had to take me out. Yeah, so so it was so don't worry, I'm not gonna make any exam. I'm not an exam people. And in school, I had no idea how to do the exams. So most of the teachers, they were like, okay, I know you know, so I will let you go. But yeah, so there were some exams that I didn't do because they knew that I knew, but I had no idea how to answer an exam. Okay. And here I am doing classes. So that's the irony of life. But what I will do is to give you some task, because that I love to do. So today we close with the Taurus. And I just remember something else because I was speaking in English, and there was this teacher in Argentina that I had, Elisa Simpson. It was like the cartoon, and she spoke to me in English once, and I had no idea what she said, and I asked for a friend what she said, and he was like, well, she said that your English is so horrible that she expect that you never have to do anything in English. And here I am, translating myself in English and speaking all of this in English. So this is just to show you that you should never take the first perception of your own self that you don't know what's going to happen, and maybe you will change your whole life doing something that you never expected to do. Okay. The topic for today is stability. So, first of all, stability. What is the origin of the word stability comes from the Latin, the ability to be stable, which is the ability to be in one place. So from etymology, stability is that, the ability to be whole, fixed in one spot, one place. So when we discuss about the stability, we all can agree that the word takes us to the conception of being in one place, understanding that you are safe in the same spot, and mainly that you had accomplished to get everything that you needed. Usually, when we say, for example, I will have, whenever I have my home, whenever I have my family, when I have a job that give me a good money, all these things, usually we say the stability. So that's why we used to say stable work, stable family, stable home, stable partners. So we relate stability with the concept of being secure, finding yourself in one place, in a safe place. So usually us we have the concept of survival. So we look for things that we need in order to survive. So we are in need of things. So we are looking, we are in need of food, in need of a place to sleep, in need of reproduction. We live through needs that are coming from the outside. So when we talk about stability, we usually relate stability with the idea of having everything that I need. So we relate stability with all the external aspects. So I put all my concept of stability related to something in the outside. So that will mean that if that thing from the outside goes away, so I will become unstable. So this kind of stability is not useful. So we have to go to the real stability, because this stability that we have created by culture is just a projection, but it's not true. Let's go to understand it. Let's go to the board. So basically, this stability won't work for the universe because it doesn't have stability, really. It can fall down. So it really doesn't have stability. This is why, in order to create stability, what we need is to create points to hold ourselves. So in order to find a little bit of stability, I would need these two other, so I can have this kind of stability. But what happened? In the universe, there is no up and down. So this can also fall down. So I will need something from the other side. So if we have this more perfect, we will understand that system, we have the ability to survive in any crisis, because it doesn't matter what happened to one of those. If one of those has a crisis, each one of them can become its own axis. So it doesn't matter if it moves, if it falls down, a new one will become the axis. So that's the axis, the axis, the axis, and so on. So if we multiply this system for many times, to one side and another, and turn it like this once and again, so what we are going to create is a sphere. So many times this symbol multiplying like this, and many times multiplying like this. So when we have a sphere, like a planet, in the core, we have the main force. Like in our planet, we have the the core of the world, which is iron mainly. So this iron has a polarity, a magnetism. So it creates magnetism, positive, negative, because the two polarities are trying to reach each other to get together. So they force the whole structure to spin towards the direction of this connection. So that's why it starts to spin like any other body. This is why we will have a north pole which is positive, and the south pole, which is negative. So we will call this the north, the positive, and the south, the negative. Why? Because of the magnetism. The magnetism, the positive, is going that way. Okay? So that's why we call it the north. It's not because I've heard some people saying that the reason why they made the maps facing north is because of the politics and the people willing to show the control of the world that are in the north of the world. No, that's not like it works. It's not like that. The reason why the maps are organized like this is because all the magnets, the compass that guides you through the world, all of them, because of the iron and the magnetism, they all go to the positive. So that's why they call it north. Okay? It's the only reason. And they organize the maps according to that. If the positive part of the planet would go to the south, then the south would be the north. Easy. So that's it. So the only reason why the north is in this part of the planet is just because the magnetical field of the planet goes up to this northern region of the world by positive. That's the only reason. Okay. And the other reason is because it spins in that direction. So the reason also why north and south is because the planet is moving in the direction, is moving constantly with a fixed axis in the north and the south. So that's why also those are the north and the south, which is the same reason, is not a different reason. The Earth is spinning because of the pressure of the core, of the iron core, which is magnetical. What happened? The planet is moving in its axis. So this way. So the Earth is not moving like constantly fixed in this axis. The Earth is moving like this, like in a circle. In 23 degrees, you can find here, 23 degrees, you can find this axis. So the world is doing like this. It's not like this. So for us to see it better, so if you are watching my videos, first of all, I want to share this so I can keep going. The Earth is not flat. The Earth is not whole. That's it. We can keep going. We have here what we call a geographic axis. Geographic axis. So I don't know if you see the difference, but here we have a physical axis in the North Pole and South Pole, physical axis, okay, from where it rotates, but the real axis of the planet is 23 degrees. So the Earth spins like this, not like this. You see the difference? Like this. And the Earth is moving like this in a constant cycle of 20 degrees, spinning on its own axis. So we can see the North Pole here, the physical North Pole here, but it's really located like this, and it spins this way in 23 degrees. Okay? So remember, as we have spoken before in another video, the rotation, the Earth is rotating this way. So the rotation of the planet is 24 hours, and the precession of the equinoxes is 25,000 years. Okay? So remember, the rotation of the planet is because of the nucleus, the core of the planet. And the precession of the equinoxes is because of the gravity of the sun. So I don't know if you have noticed, but the Earth is moving all the time, not only spinning like this and like this, but also spinning around the sun really fast, like this. So we would say now that the Earth, through billions of years, has found a movement, a constant movement, a way to move constantly. So everything that we normalized, like the weather, the air, the hours, the month, the day, the night, everything that happens on Earth that we kind of normalize is because the Earth is moving really fast. So what, from our point of view, we consider stability for the Earth is constant movement. So if there is no movement, if the Earth suddenly decides to stop, so that would mean death. Everything would die. We would be like an asteroid, nothing else. A dead planet. So the Earth has found something that we call stable movement. I will try to be fast with this and understand this. So let's picture this. So the Earth, we have the Earth here, and we have it that in the east direction, it spins on its own axis through 24 hours. And then in the opposite direction to the west, it spins in 23 degrees, in a circle 23 degrees, through 25,000 years to make a whole turn. So towards the east, the Earth takes 24 hours to make a whole spin. To the west, Earth takes 25,000 years to make a whole spin of 23 degrees. And then we have here the sun. The Earth will spin around an ellipse around the sun in 365 days. So this means that the Earth will take 365 days, which is 365 turns 24 hours, to make the whole turn around the sun. So if we make a cross, we will find here summer, autumn, winter, and spring. The seasons, the specific days of season. Do you remember this symbol? So this symbol basically is speaking about this. So this is what we call the crucifixion of time. Of course, that this will be opposite in each one of the sides of the world. So spring, autumn, summer, winter, autumn, spring, winter, summer. At the same time, we will divide this as a clock. So at the same time, we will divide this in 12 different regions. So these are the months. So when the Earth is spinning, it can see different constellations, all of them, when it's spinning. But when it's going through this ecliptic, the Earth is getting inside the houses of the constellations. So some of the questions that I've heard is, if the Earth is moving so much, why we see the same skies? The reason why we see the same skies is because we are spinning around the sun. So the sky is the same. And also the sun is moving, but it's moving at the same speed as the other suns are moving around. So basically we see kind of the same things. We can take thousands of years until we see a movement in the skies of some sun because or star, because it takes thousands of years for us to perceive that, because it's really slow from our point of view. So another thing, the Earth, remember, is moving in this circle of 20 degrees through 25,000 years. So sometimes Polaris is the northern stars, like now, but not always is like this. It changes, because when the planet is pointing to another direction, the northern star is another one. So the whole sky changes. Everything is different. And this is the reason why the Earth is moving through what we call the alignment of the sidereal sky. So the Earth is aligning to the movement of all the stars. But this doesn't mean that the Earth is not going through these same houses. So is this here what we call tropical, which is the houses that are always here. So the Earth is always affected by this. So the sidereal movement will be the one that shows us the sky according to the movement of the Earth in this 25,000 years going around like this. And the movement around the sun is the one that shows me the tropical astrology, which are the houses where the Earth will move anyway. It doesn't matter how it changes. It's always the same. What I want to explain with all this, the point that I want to get with all this information is that through thousands and millions of years, all this movement is because of the stability of their axis. So it means that in order for stability to exist in the universe, everything has to move. What would happen if the Earth stopped spinning? Would happen that this side of the world would be in shadows all the time. So this side would never be able to understand what is light. If there wouldn't be a precession of the equinoxes, we would never have any idea where is the north. So we would never have any idea where to go. What is the purpose? If we wouldn't have, if we wouldn't go around the sun, we wouldn't be able to have the options of ourselves. The Earth, from this spinning, is absorbing different information from different stars, constellations. Now imagine that this one here is called I. Now imagine that this here, if this is me, I can call this mom, dad, sister, brother, grandma, grandpa, boyfriend, girlfriend, friend, son, daughter, hijo, hija. So when we are spinning on our own axis, we are observing each one of them. And we are seeing the projections of ourselves in the relationship with them. So now I have two options. I will rely all my responsibility and my stability in the relationship with the others, or am I going to recognize that the reason why I can relate with the others is because I am spinning on my own axis? So now imagine that you are the Earth, and as you spin, you see the constellations, which are all the people that you know. Family, friends, partners, everyone. But you also spin around the light, around the sun. So you are moving through them, relating with some of them, then another ones, some friends, some partners, some families. You move. And also sometimes I spin, like looking to the skies and going down to look into my roots. So what I am doing is doing the precession of the equinoxes, doing my own process on my own self. So this means that we are constant movement, that the only way you can find real stability is through the movement, through evolution. So I have to move through the people. If I stand only with one of them and I attach to that person, it's like the Earth attaching to constellation and not moving anymore. And you will die. The only reason why the Earth finds stability and finds its axis is because of the movement. If there is no movement, the Earth cannot find the axis. The same way as if I stand still and I float like the Earth, like no axis at all, I won't have any idea how to find my axis unless I move and I can identify where is the middle point through where all the movement are going on. So it's the movement, the one that allows me to find stability. It's not the stationary process. Stability is not the ability of of accomplishing to get all what you need to stay safe in one place. Stability is the ability to be. So let's go to the alignment. The vibration for today is Yang. The statement for today is I am the eternal ascension. The code for today is resonance. Comes from the vibration, from the law of vibration, originating in the universe sounds. Everything vibrates, expands, creating waves that rumble in the cosmos, and when returned on themselves, reverberate like echoes, creating resonance. This means ringing again. Resonance is then the ability of knowing which ones are the echoes of my own being that come back to me through time and space. What resonates with me is an echo of my being. What doesn't resonate is a vibration that originated in me, which does not imply that it is a lie, but it's another ringing through truth. Truth. So let's go now to the alignment to close the week of the mind. So spoke too much, but as always, we have to go through many different informations to get to a very easy point, which is like the universe itself. And just another thing that I wanted to close with this mental week, according to something that I wrote, that I read around, which was that that making it in two languages make it too long. So from my Capricorn point of view, I would say to these people that maybe if you don't have the time to spend the time learning this, maybe it's because this is not what you are supposed to learn in this time, if you don't have the time to do so. So feel free. So let's go to the alignment. Sit comfortable, close your eyes, and focus in your breathing. Take a deep breath and pay attention to the environment you are sitting in. And with your imagination, start to design a library around you. Very huge, with thousands of galleries and books, all connected to a main hall. I become aware that this library is my own Akashic records, from which I am its only librarian. And each book is a pattern, a code, an information that is connected within my subconscious. I recognize that this is the place where I can come every time that I need an answer. And with the practice, each time I will be able to access to a deeper information. I remember that all this information within me are codes, patterns, tools that I have to bring from my subconscious to my conscious through the unconscious. So every time that I come here, I can take this information to bring it to the light of the consciousness, to make it a tool for me. Having access to this library helps me to understand each one of the hidden data that makes who I am. And by taking it to the consciousness, I become aware of who I really am. From the main hall, I observe all the libraries, all the galleries and books around me. As I observe everything from the main hall, I recognize that this is the point through where I find my access, my stability. By connecting the mind through my subconscious, unconscious, unconscious. I recognize that all these books that I know and the ones that I don't know, the stairs that take me to the office of light, observing me from the top, all of it is part of me, and I should not judge it for all of it makes my stability. For everything is me. Take a deep breath. And I see that my own body is where I hold all these books. And that is only me, through the consciousness, that I will be able to read all of them. Each book in this library of my subconscious is a cell in my body. Each step in the stairs through my subconscious towards the unconscious is a vertebra in my spine. It's a chakra aligning up. And above, the office of my consciousness, the light is anchored in my brain, in the pineal and hypophysis glands. I am the library. I am my own Akashic records, which I am the only librarian. And my chakras, my spine, are the ones that holds my stability towards the consciousness. As I recognize this, I take a deep breath and expand through the stairs of the chakras and the spine, up to the consciousness and down below to the subconscious, creating with my sound the torus around the library. I am the stair of the ascension. I am the stair of the ascension. I am the stair to ascension. I am and I use. I use the stairs that I am. I am. Take a deep breath, and each one at its own time, start to caress and stretch the body, yawning, bringing all the consciousness to each part of the body. Coming back here and now. So the task for today that I leave now is to make a drawing of a clock with the 12 numbers, and in each one of the numbers from 1 to 5 and from 7 to 11, I will write there each one of the codes of the patterns that I've been working in that same order. Okay, day by day. 12 and 6, nothing, just is the axis. And the next part of this will be to make a redaction, writing of your own conversation between I and am. So what I will write in this conversation between I and am will be write down a conversation about these patterns, all in present, like I say, I do, okay? All in present, questioning about those patterns and answering about how to use them as tools. But don't think about the answer, just write. Don't touch, doesn't matter, just write. Practice the writing, not the thinking. So, as I said, I repeat, I draw a clock, 12 hours, and I will write from the 1 to 5 and 7 to 8 to 11, the patterns that we worked each one of these days, these 10 past days. And then for the 12 and 6, I will make a redaction between my I and am, all in present, talking about how to make these patterns into tools. No thinking. Don't think, just write. Whatever comes. Don't pay attention to what you write. Okay? If it takes you 1 hour, it's okay. If it takes you 2 years, it's okay. It doesn't matter. It's not an exam. Whenever you please. Okay? So thank you, everybody, for being there as always, and see you tomorrow at the same time.